What's going on, fellow A-Plusers? It is I, your Morphinominal host, Adam Perez, back once again with another video this week. This time in the middle of the week, a little bit of an impromptu, to be perfectly honest with you. As today, guys, we finally got ourselves a trademark for Super Sentai 2022, next year's Super Sentai Team. They actually went ahead and announced it yesterday evening. Did not get the opportunity to go ahead and talk about it as of yesterday, but decided I was going to go ahead and hold off until today, do a little bit of a live show for you guys. So hopefully anybody certainly joining me today, thank you very much. Certainly let your thoughts be known in the live chat or the comment section box below. Remember, guys, as always, these are just simply my A+ opinions, but at the end of the day, I'm here to certainly hear yours. So let your thoughts be known in the live chat or the comment section box below after this particular video airs. But look, this is something that we've been sitting on for quite some time, kind of patiently waiting, if you will, for the Super Sentai trademark to actually drop. Usually these things happen over, or at least during the month of October, and unfortunately it just did not happen. But they wanted to go ahead and surprise us with the very first month of November and finally revealing it to us. We've been talking about grains of salt for the past couple of weeks, some rumors that have certainly been going around. I mean, hell, this past weekend we even talked about the concept of a Bakutaro Sentai as a possibility of it certainly being named, along with a couple of other confirmed rumors that we certainly had. But lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, the trademark is officially here. Toei Company has in fact filed the trademark for Avataro Sentai Donbrothers. Avataro Sentai Donbrothers, ladies and gentlemen. That is the name of the brand new Sentai series that we're going to be getting. Not too far off from Bakutaro, so I will certainly give them some slack. You know, the idea that they misread the first name here, it now turning into Avataro Sentai Donbrothers. Not too far off, but I got to admit, man, super unique, super original. I really have no idea, outside of the confirmed stuff that we talked about this past weekend, what all we're going to see. At this point in time, I'm super pumped and just waiting at this moment for costume designs, plot details, a synopsis, maybe some character breakdowns that we're going to be getting. I'm really looking forward to seeing this officially debuted. I do believe that there's supposed to be a press conference here rather shortly. I'm not quite sure if it's this week. I'm not quite sure if it's next week or so, but I'm fully expecting during this press conference for them to give us maybe first an official look here. Nothing that's leaked or anything like that. Maybe some more information and whatnot. So we'll definitely keep you guys posted as the week continues. But again, guys, the trademark is official for Avataro Sentai Donbrothers. You know, I will say this in regards to the uniqueness of this name. I've never really seen another Super Sentai title end in brothers or anything like that. You know, most of the time, I feel like, you know, when you think of Super Sentai names, right, we have Karame Jur, Kyoryu Gur, Pat Ranger, right? I mean, they all kind of have very similar ending sounds or ending spellings, if you will. There's always a theme. Go Ranger, right? I mean, Deca Ranger, it goes on and on. So to switch it up, I think the only one that I can think of, I mean, we had Go Kaijur, Zuo Jur. You get what I'm saying? I think the difference that I'm seeing, the only other one I can think of as of recent is like Go Busters, but even then, that's, you know, at least that doesn't end in a GER. So, but outside of Go Busters, I feel like this is a rather unique name in and of itself when it comes to Donbrothers. So I don't really know what the full meaning of this is supposed to be, or what we're going to be getting. I highly doubt that this means that we're going to be getting ourselves an entire team of like just dudes. I'm not expecting this season to be like a sausage fest, like no women whatsoever. Whether or not they start off with all males and then eventually add a female, or maybe one female in this group, who certainly knows? Time will definitely tell. But Avataro Sentai Donbrothers is in fact our main new title that we certainly have to look forward to. Now, while I know that the name, when we talked about it this past weekend, we were kind of pushing the idea of it being Bakutaro Sentai, we do have a little bit of explanation of that from the real Matt Hunt, talking about the concept of it was being misread, the idea of it being translated from like two different languages or something like that, like from Chinese to Japanese to English sort of thing, is what I heard the real Matt Hunt say. So it definitely got got lost in translation, if you will. So Avataro Sentai Donbrothers, the confirmed stuff that we talked about this past weekend, of at least the concepts of Zenkaiser along with Jurin still maybe being regulars in here, the concept of like a bike mecha being able to attach itself to Jurin, the concept also of a Momotaro theme is still in here. You can certainly still see it from the title alone, Avataro, as you can see towards the end of that as well. So I'm really do think that everything that we talked about this past weekend is lining up perfectly for it. Let's see here. Couple other things I did want to go ahead and bring up to you. I did go back over to the rangerboard.com that does have a lot of these some new information for us to definitely go ahead and sink our teeth into. So in regards to the name breakdown, as of right now for Avataro, the first half stands for Aba, or maybe in other words Rampage, and Momotaro, the Japanese folk tale. Roughly translated, it means rampaging boy or wild boy. And then it says the English spelling of Avataro is also interesting, as it would seem to indicate some sort of allusion to avatars. So again, Avataro, first half meaning rampage, the other half being Momotaro for the Japanese folklore. So again, roughly translated into rampaging boy or wild boy. And again, for those of you who don't know, my brother actually lives over in Japan, very fluent over in Japanese also. I did send him this information also, so I am waiting to hear back from my brother to see if he's got any further clarity in regards to it. Donbrothers is likely also from Japanese, meaning Don Barako, which is the sound of tumbling, and the English word brothers. So Don Barako tends to exclusively refer to the sound Momotaro made going down the river. So interesting. I based off of what he's saying in here, I'm not really seeing any indication of the concept of this being an all guys sort of season, if you will. They also went ahead and posted the trademark rumors in here as well. Okay. Oh, yeah. And then it says Avataro Sentai was read as Bakutaro Sentai in the initial toy listings. Similar kanji, Japanese to Chinese to English translation woes. So they do go ahead and clarify just where that difference from the push of Bakutaro came earlier in the week, and how, based off of it being translated through 3 different languages, clearly, again, lost in translation. So it is officially Avataro Sentai Donbrothers. I always want to say Don Busters or something else, but it's going to take a while for it to just flow smoothly off the tongue, if you will. Speaking of which, even though we do have ourselves the official confirmation here in regards to the trademark, more rumors are coming out, ladies and gentlemen, for us to certainly enjoy. So again, grain of salt when it comes to these rumors, but these are from Dukemon over at Ranger Board. It says, "Will bring your salt grains. Going back in the history of 2chan Image Board, there was a poster who actually posted the name Bakutaro Sentai / Avataro Sentai early. So this name of Avataro Sentai has been out there for quite some time, but apparently people just simply picked up on the Bakutaro Sentai side of things. But this poster from 2chan had this idea rather early. It says, with it, though, they also listed the following rangers. They've got 2 human rangers, and they're saying that the rest could possibly be CGI. You've got Momo brother, who's going to be the Red Ranger, and then Oni sister, who plans on being the yellow. And then, of course, you've got the pheasant, the monkey, and the dog as being CGI. Again, grains of salt, guys. And the pheasant, monkey, and dog CGI, all of that, again, comes from the concept of the Japanese folk tale in Momotaro. These were his companions, Momotaro's companions along his journey. The pheasant, the monkey, the dog, or whatever the case may be. You see them in several different iterations and telling of the stories over the ages as well. So they seemingly are going to be having an impact on this show. And if they're saying that the pheasant, monkey, and dog are CG, then yeah, I'm assuming the two humans in Momo brother and Oni sister, and then of course the red the red or I should say the animals in CGI. There's a part of me that's kind of wondering when I think of the idea of animals in CGI. For some reason, it takes me back to, and while I haven't watched the entirety of this season, I do recall seeing this on the show for Kamen Rider Saber, how one of the swords had like a wolf or a lion or something like that, like a blue wolf or blue lion that it would literally ride. I am wondering if maybe it's something along those lines. Like, even though they're a pheasant, monkey, and a dog, are they robotic? Are they like mechanical sort of thing? Um, and maybe that's why we're going to be getting it in sort of that CGI form. You know, they have talked about the idea of them maybe linking up with Jurin during sort of like a combination and whatnot. So I would assume the animals themselves as being CGI, they're probably not going to be, I wouldn't assume at least that they're like traditional, you know, animals in CGI, but more maybe mecha animals in CGI, if I had to certainly assume, which would make them easier to certainly go ahead and combine with Jurin, if that's certainly still the case in regards to it. So I'm really curious to see how this is gonna, one, look on screen, and two, I would assume that we would have more than maybe just those two as humans, right? Because if you think of it, some of the leaks and information that we're getting is that Zenkaiger along with Jurin are going to be regulars on this show. So there's a part of me that's thinking, okay, well, clearly you've got the Momotaro character. Maybe you also have Kaido that's going to be involved in here also. So that's your two humans. But then the rumors that we got also were showcasing the idea of an Oni sister possibly as a yellow. So I am kind of curious if Jurin and Zenkaiger are regulars on this show. Does that automatically mean that they're active members of the team, or are they not? Are they more like supporting characters like a Sichin and a Yichan, you know, that are seemingly regulars on the show? We see them every episode, but they're still kind of like supporting characters to a certain extent. So I am really fascinated to kind of see what this is going to turn out. It's me trying to speculate the rumors and the theories going around based off of some of the grains and salt that we're certainly seeing here, and trying to kind of put this all together. And again, the idea and the concept of CGI. One of the things. Let me see if I can I go back to this Ranger board. Let me see if it'll let me. Will it let me? No, I think I stopped the sharing. Because speaking of CGI, one of the things in here says a proven source for Zenkaiger and Revice leaks dropped a hint at CGI Black around October 8th. This followed along with earlier rumors that the next robot battles would be completely CGI. It says they would go on to seemingly confirm this with his episode updates of episodes 30 and 31 of Zenkaiger that we have seen as full CGI. Now, granted, this past week we didn't get a full CGI battle in Zenkaiger, but it definitely seems as though they're pushing that the boundaries of what they're capable of doing when it does in fact sort of come to CGI. So you know, for me, again, I'm still on the fence as to whether or not I'm a big fan of the CGI Zord battles, if I think that they look clean and smooth or even up to date to what we're capable of doing in the 21st century. So I'm still on the fence in regards to it. And to be honest with you, when I saw the wolf or the lion and Kamen Rider Saber that the blue sword guy was rocking, I wasn't the biggest fan as regards to at least the what it looked like. You know what I mean? Like the CGI just wasn't clean enough for me. So I'm really hoping that if CGI is the route that we're going, again, take it with a grain of salt. This is just rumors. I am kind of curious as to how good they're gonna look. Because if they just do not look good and they constantly look like they are, you know, pulled out of a terrible CGI movie, then it may throw me personally out of the season or out of the episode, sort of thing, right? If you can't really make it believable enough, it may not necessarily fly with me at least. But I'm eager for it. I'm really interested. I think if anything, hearing this information has me less worried about the concept of this being a Zenkaiger season 2 and really something that's more original and unique and something that they're kind of tackling. I mean, if your team is literally going to be a guy, a girl, and 3 animals that all of a sudden maybe turn into like robot mechas as they transform or whatever the case may be, I, I'm kind of intrigued. I'm kind of intrigued, honestly. I don't feel like that's very similar to what we had already when it comes to Zenkaigers, even though I know that they are Kikanoids and they're their own sort of robots and things like that. I like kind of like the concept alone of like animals being able to turn into rangers. It's not quite like Zoologer, where I feel like Zoologer, you actually had a physical body, right? Like you had an actual like alien, if you will, somebody from another planet that just happened to be an animal, in human form, if you will. I kind of dig that concept of taking that and turning them into a ranger. That really worked for me. But the idea of seeing like a flying CGI pheasant morphing and having a henshin sequence of its own and maybe turning into a full body mecha ranger or something, it's kind of intriguing. Like I'm really kind of here for it, man, to be perfectly honest with you. But again, these are just simply grains of salt. But it's one of the reasons why on our thumbnail we had some of the animals and like the one person just all blacked out with question marks and stuff, because it is fascinating if that's the route that they're certainly going to go. I mean, granted, listen, they definitely are pulling from the Momotaro theme if that's going to be the case of having his companions actually be his ranger buddies. And I would assume that if anything, then maybe we're gonna see ourselves a sense of like yukai as our villains, maybe some trolls or whatever the case may be. If they can dive into that Japanese folklore in regards to the story that's being told and really have some fun with it. We might be in for something really special here. So the name alone, Avataro Sentai Donbrothers, while it definitely like hits me as like, what the hell is a Don brother? At the same time, I think its uniqueness and the curiosity that it builds within me has me definitely on board, at least for the name. Now, whether or not the story is certainly going to execute, that is certainly something that we have to wait to be seen. So we'll see. But guys, listen, I want to know some of your guys' thoughts. You hear this, not only the name and title in regards to the official trademark, Avataro Sentai Donbrothers, which, mind you, if you guys are interested, we will be doing reviews for Donbrothers here. So if you are looking for a home in regards to your upcoming Donbrothers reviews, hit that subscribe button, guys. It definitely will go a long way. And I would be curious to know and hear your thoughts in regards to the brand new rumors that they certainly have. Again, 2 human rangers, the rest being CGI. Again, I'm assuming that's Momotaro as Momo brother, Oni's sister, not sure who that certainly is as of yet, and then the pheasant, monkey, and dog being CGI. So, guys, let's go with it. Let's see what some of you guys are saying. And of course, I'll give you guys some shout outs for certainly joining us here live. It is something I wanted to do today because I didn't really want to wait since it dropped so early in the week. One of my rules is if news drops on Wednesday and after, talk about it on the weekend. But if it's something that's big that drops Monday or Tuesday, I got to talk about it. So let's see who's in our live chat here. We got Harka joining us today. Thank you very much. Avataro Sentai Donbrothers. When I think of Donbrothers, the first thing that I think of when I heard Don, I go straight to The Godfather. I'm a huge movie guy, so to think of the Don, I think of The Godfather from the movie already. We got hey ladies, what's up? Good to see you in here. We got Invincible Food Heart Mask. What's up, Invincible? Thank you very much for certainly joining us today. We got Nate Wynn in here. Thank you very much. Or is it maybe Nat? Nat Win, maybe. Thank you very much for joining us today. Who else we got in here? Ultraman's in the house. I feel like I haven't seen you in a minute. Thank you very much for certainly coming through. Power Rangers Ready in here as well. Doomsday making his presence felt. We even got Brian. What's up, Brian? I appreciate it. He does ask, is Avataro Sentai Donbrothers, will they have a 5 humans or not? I'm not assuming that they will. Doesn't mean that they can't have more humans, but I would be curious to see how they start off how they start off as. I'm wondering if they're automatically going to start off as a group of 5. Do they start off as simply a group of 4 with Momotaro and his pheasants, and then Oni's sister joins up with them? I'm not quite sure, but I'm not under the impression that everybody is human. I'm assuming it's a mixture of human and CGI animals is what we're kind of getting. Let's see here. Who else? We got Ram Jams in the house. Thank you very much, Ram Jam. Good to see you. KL, what's up, KL? Thank you very much. It says interesting name. I totally agree, but it's, listen, I didn't know what to expect when I saw Go Busters, and I checked it out, and I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved its uniqueness in regards to the suits, the spy espionage theme that we wind up getting mixed in with like internet digital sort of theme. It really worked for me. So anytime if they want to go original, changing up a bit, I'm definitely not going to complain. I absolutely love it. But yeah, definitely interesting to certainly say the least. AJ in the house. What's up, AJ? Thank you very much for certainly coming through, man. Is that everybody? Blossom here. Also, thank you very much, Blossom. Wasn't sure if you were going to join us. I don't really do these lives in the middle of the week. I usually try and do something like pre-recorded, but I said, you know what? F it. It's trademark season, baby. We got to talk Super Sentai. Adam Perea, what's up, cuz? Good to see you in here. Koala in here as well. Thank you very much. We got Common Rider 64 joining us today. Even Robert Clark is in here. Thank you very much for the clarification. Common Rider Blades has a blue line. That's who I was thinking of when I was thinking of the CG animals. I would think, if anything, maybe they kind of took that concept. Like, I wonder if that was like a prototype, if you will, right? Like a training course to see if maybe they can make CGI animals look decent enough. So maybe they're taking influences from that blue line CGI and gives us these animals that they're contemplating. Again, just grains of salt, though. We'll see. Anybody else? Indy in the house. What's up, Indy? Thank you very much for coming through, man. And let me see what you guys are saying. I was just looking up to see who we all had in here, but let me see some of your guys' comments though. Nat or Nate, he says CGI and Sentai not bad. I really can't comment as of yet to fully see what it looks like. I wasn't the biggest fan of it in Kamen Rider Saber, but again, if that was just like a trial run to see what kinks we need to sort of break out to do CGI animals, I'm definitely open to it. I don't have a problem whatsoever with Sentai tackling CGI unique, especially when you're talking about the idea of having an actor literally have to act against maybe a creature that's not even really there, right? So I am curious to see how they're going to bring it to life. Hey Lady says he likes the concept and the idea of CGI. Well, again, we'll see if it works. Let's see here. What else are you guys saying? He says my fro got huge, or is the lighting and your jacket? It's probably a combination of both. I actually was planning on washing my hair before I went live, but I looked down, and next thing I know, I was like, oh crap, it's almost 7. I got to get ready. Power Rangers Ready says, I'm not a fan of the name Don Brothers. Sounds like Blues Brothers. I mean, hey, look, Blues Brothers were super popular back in the day. You certainly may not have been a fan, but the Blues Brothers were definitely very well known back in the day, for sure. I'm sure there are going to be some people that aren't fans of Don Brothers. I think sometimes we tend to get maybe a little bit too comfortable in the norms, and anytime anybody certainly switches it up for us, sometimes it's something that's a little bit hard to digest or accept. But I kind of dig the sound of Don Brothers. It does have like a mafia sort of mob mentality theme. When I think of it, when I think of Don Brothers, I just think of like a group of like 5 guys that are really mob bosses that can also transform into something. That's what I first think of when I hear of Don Brothers. But just hearing some of the what the Ranger board winds up saying in regards to really breaking it down for us. Again, the idea it's most likely which is the sound of tumbling, and the English words brother. Don Barako tends to exclusively refer to the sound of Momotaro made going down the river. So I am interested to see how that play on what it truly means will actually look when we actually see the series for itself. Let's see here. He does have three prediction motifs, maybe a video game theme, mafia, and Momotaro. And again, right, we were just thinking, I was just personally just thinking about the mafia because of the fact of it being Don. But I am curious. If anything, this feels very Momotaro themed for me, maybe with hints of fantasy, hints of folklore when it comes to the yukai and things like that. At least that's the direction that I'm kind of feeling if you're going to be bringing Momotaro into it along with his companions and things like that. So we'll see though. We'll see. Doomsday says the name Avataro Sentai Don Brothers does intrigue me a bit. Me too. Me too. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it translates. Power Rangers Ready says, I really hope it separates itself from Zenkaiger. Honestly, I really do hope that it does too. I'm completely cool with the idea of Zenkaiger maybe giving us sort of a spin-off into this particular new series. I'm cool with the idea of just taking key characters and bringing them over to really flesh out the idea that, look, this is very much a transition, right? We're keeping some of the characters you might be familiar with, but we're really pushing some of the concepts forward, right? Evolving the gear to linger, even some of the Sentai gears into something different, but it's based off of Zenkaiger. So for me, I guess my biggest worry and concern, and I talked about this past weekend, is, are the showrunners coming back from Zenkaiger? I would be okay if maybe they stayed on as just an executive producer, but allowed a completely different showrunner, director, and writer to certainly take over to really give me a completely different vision and a completely different feel. It would be awkward for me to try to go into Zenkaiger and then the next season feeling exactly the same. I definitely am hoping that things certainly do change up. So I agree with you. I definitely do hope that it separates. And if anything, one of the theories that we've been speculating for a while is because of the fact that we haven't seen Kaido's mom, and I'm assuming she's still either dimension hopping or traveling from world to world, or she's stuck on a world. For me, I think it would be really cool if Kaido's mom is actually the one that winds up creating Momotaro's like companions. Like if she's the one, we've seen her create, mechanical animals already in Sichan. Who's to say that maybe our Zenkaigers don't find Kaido's mom on like Momotaro world or something like that, right? Where you've got a Momotaro character, and maybe she's made new gears and a new gear to linger for Momotaro along with his companions. Like for me, it would be pretty cool if his mom connected both of the seasons in regards to some of her creations. So I think that would be pretty cool also. But again, that's just me, and I think it would be something that really would separate itself from it. Ram Jam says this is going to be one of my live viewer questions. Hey, it certainly still can be. I'm sure we'll probably talk about it this upcoming weekend as well. Maybe we'll get ourselves new rumors. So if you do have a question that maybe we haven't tackled in here, Ram Jam, feel free to certainly go ahead and still submit your questions over. Um, AJ does say, please, please make the Rangers go back to being human again. I personally would like that. I personally would be a big supporter of bringing, having 5 or 6 humans as Rangers again. But I don't mind this. I do want to check it out first and see how I feel about it. Look, as long as there's more than one human ranger on the team, I'm perfectly okay with it. Zen Kaiser hasn't bothered me so much because of the fact that we've got two Kaiser who's human, Stay Caesar who's human, right? So I definitely do think that it brings some balance to the Zen Kaisers and the Kikainoids. So it works for me. But I understand where you're coming from, AJ. There's a part of me I do kind of want to go back to more traditional Sentai, but I'm cool if they want to do something new and switch it up. Whether it's successful or not, we'll definitely have to wait and see, though. Um, Doomsday says, yeah, I'm so used to the name ending in Gur or Man or Ranger. So the name Don Brothers interests me. Yeah. And I did see some people asking, like, if it's Don Brothers, does that mean there's going to be no females on here? And I did watch Ranger Liz's video, and she brought up a good point. The idea that, look, we've seen, Bioman, Change Man, right? Like we've seen series that end in man, but still also have female. So sometimes the idea of brothers could just be like, listen, brothers in arms, right? Like we're just that tight. We're practically family. You know what I mean? So brothers can definitely have a significant different types of meanings for sure, instead of just guys. The only other crazy one so far, yes, Go Go V, definitely something different in regards to names for Sentai. KL he says based on the name, probably samurai based or heavy Japanese culture based. Yeah, and again, going back to the concept of Momotaro, they did say it might be slash samurai motif, but when you look at his costume, when you look at Momotaro's costume, you know the fact that he does in fact have a samurai sword on him. Other depictions of him do have some like bits of armor on his shoulders, around his hips, maybe even on his shins, sort of thing. So he is ready for battle if it certainly does happen. So yeah, I definitely agree with you in the sense that there probably is some samurai motif that's going to be built into this as well. It's going to be so weird because we're just talking about the idea of like a bike mecha and things like that mixed in here with a Momotaro motif, also like a folklore motif. It's going to be a really interesting combination of seeing like animals yet robots or mechas with a folklore kind of theme. I'm eager, like I'm super eager to see what this is like. Hey, lady says, I'm confident there will be a girl. Yeah, me too. I have no doubts about it. How many we'll get is certain something we'll definitely have to see, but I'm pretty sure we will. KL says, Momo brother, Peach brother. KL also says Oni sister equals demon sister. Ooh, okay, okay, interesting, interesting. Adam says, "Hey Adam, just so you know, I'm just joking, but I find it funny that you were able to make time to do this live trademark discussion, but can't watch an episode of Dino Fury." Well, listen. First off, I've been working all day today, man. Monday through Fridays, I work 9 to 6. So in between that and trying to juggle not only episodes that I haven't watched yet, but stuff that I still have to watch, right? During my regular programming. Like I literally just did a reaction video for a Deca Ranger video for my Patreons that eventually you guys will be able to see. I also got Supergirl that starts at 8 o'clock that I definitely got to watch also. So trust me, it's one of those things when it's like impromptu and certain really important that drop. This is definitely a news thing that we've been waiting for such a long time. We had to absolutely talk about it. So yeah, I definitely will make time for it for sure. Dino Fury is up on Netflix. I can watch that at any particular point in time, but taking advantage of big news, you gotta stop everything that you're doing. You gotta stop everything you're doing. Let's see here. But yes, I know that you're joking. I know you're joking. Um Ultraman says he does have their own theory on what Don Brothers may look like. I would be interested to check that out for sure. Do I think it's going to be do I think it's going to be bad? No, I actually think this season actually might surprise. I feel like when it comes to Super Sentai seasons, I feel like there tends to be an on and off season, like a good season followed by a bad season, or a mediocre season followed by a good season, followed by a bad or mediocre season, followed by a good season. Like I feel like it's a trend. Like they keep the really good storytellers focused on one story and focus too much on one story that by the time you realize, oh, we got to start working on our second Super Sentai, it's like they got writer group C or writer group D to come in just to kind of as like a buffer of just a random ass Super Sentai season to help get us over this hump for this year so we can get back to the new one. So and that's what Zenkaiger feels like. Zenkaiger feels like a buffer season. It's a 45th anniversary season. Don't get me wrong, and it definitely is doing its job as an anniversary season. But as far as like compelling great Super Sentai season and I'm always going to remember and call back and recommend everybody watch, probably not so much. So I feel like if anything, the idea alone, for me at least, the concept of a Japanese folklore with the Momotaro theme, a samurai, maybe some a mecha theme in there too. I, I kind of dig it. I think it sets itself up for a really good season. A really good season. Nate does say he thinks that Oni's sister will be a villain, just like Org. Possible, possible. Um, Brian Lee says, when is the Avataro Don Brothers conference? You know, I don't know off the top of my head. I probably should have asked or reached out to the real Matt Hunt beforehand to ask him that question. I feel like I have seen him mention it before. Something tells me it's this week, but I really could be wrong, and I don't want to give you any false information. But I'll keep you guys posted if anything does pop up this week. If you're not following us or if you're not subscribed, if we do get, say, like a poster reveal or anything like that, or pictures, I'll probably post them up on the community tab first for you guys to certainly check out before we talk about it during the weekend show. You do say, Ultraman does say, I think that Don Brothers may have 3 human rangers, each partnered with a dragon sibling, because I saw this show on Netflix called Wakfu, and the main character, Yugo, has a dragon brother named Adamai. He says there's more of Adamai and Yugo's dragon brother because they were born from the same dragon egg called Dofus, which is all linked to Yugo race of humans. I mean, that feels like a little bit of a stretch for me, Ultraman. I mean, based off of just a Netflix show that had 3 human rangers, each partnered with or because of the fact that you saw a show on Netflix. I mean, I haven't really seen anything from the rumors or the speculation or grains of salt that contribute to the idea of there even being dragon siblings. So we'll see, Ultraman. I don't necessarily think that's it, but I certainly have no problem in being wrong if I'm wrong. But no, I think interesting theory. I will definitely say that, Ultraman. Interesting theory, to say the least. All right, guys. I think other than that, that's going to do it for us here. If anything, we'll certainly be back later on this weekend to definitely go ahead and talk about it with you guys more and dive deeper into it. And I'm hoping we get more rumors or hopefully some confirmation later on this week. But we'll definitely keep you guys posted. Remember, again, Avataro Sentai Donbrothers, the 2022 Super Sentai Team trademark officially. Enjoy it, guys. Enjoy it, and definitely enjoy some of the grains and salt, and maybe even look up a little bit more information in regards to Momotaro and just the Japanese folklore as a whole. And until then, I guess we'll see you guys later. So in the meantime, do me a big favor, as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and of course, keep it A+. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. If you enjoy our content and want to be a part of helping our channel grow, become a patron supporter. We have affordable tiers to choose from that offer a variety of exclusive and early access content, from audio files for all of our shows for you to enjoy on the road, access to our Discord community, and plenty of reactions, reviews, character breakdowns, and more. Check us out at patreon.com/A+opinions. And as always, remember, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so anytime we drop a brand new video, you will be notified.